All right, welcome to another edition of the Franklin Community High School Career Exploration Project. With me today, we have Josh Dillon, who is the operations manager at Harding Group. So Josh, first of all, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your time. So why don't you just tell me, operations manager, kind of what that entails, what the Harding Group is, and just kind of how you got there.
Okay, Harding Group is Indianapolis-based civil construction company. We do asphalt paving, concrete work, maintenance to parking lots. We have asphalt plants. We own several triaxles, dump trucks. We do work from a couple $100 parking striping job all the way up to $5-6 million road reconstruction programs. So we have a pretty broad scope of work.
Yeah. So how did you get into your current position? What kind of education or training was involved for you?
Well, I started out years ago in the survey world, surveying and working at an engineering company. I was also attending IUPUI for construction management, civil construction engineering. There's a few programs there that are available. And basically just one job, the surveying world led to another engineering firm. From that engineering firm, I was hired from another local civil contractor. So I went from the engineering side to the construction world. And that was Reith Riley, who I worked for there. And then through Reith Riley, Harding offered me a job. So I went from, again, a design engineering type company into the contracting world.
Okay. So what led you to this, what led you to this? I guess your career from engineering to the construction and supervisor operations, what led you to that?
Well, I guess I always enjoyed working outside. So that's part of the surveying world. I've always liked construction, even since I was a kid. I originally wanted to be an architect. So I enjoyed buildings, construction. I didn't have a lot of guidance when I was young to really know which way I wanted to go. But once I got the job on the engineering side or the surveying side, again, I really enjoyed being outside. I enjoyed working and watching, projects start from the ground up to where, we would lay it out as the surveyor. And then also be able to see it from the engineering side where maybe we designed that project. So you can kind of see start to finish. And then again, when the construction starts, you see the building go up or the road be built or whatever the case may be. But I guess what really got me interested was working outside and being around construction every day.
Yeah. So so you like being outside. So you really should be sitting outside right now doing this interview.
Yeah. Meet me out there and we'll do it outside.
I don't like being outside.
Yeah. No, that is a little bit of a drawback to the construction world is the weather on the bad days.
Yeah, obviously. So with that kind of leads into the next question. You get to work outside is a pro and con. I guess it's a little bit of both. But what are some of the pros, the things you like most? And what are some of the other drawbacks besides working outside when it's 10 degrees outside?
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends on the person. I have some employees that they would rather work outside when it's 20 degrees than be inside in a 70-degree office. Yeah. So I guess for me, I can kind of cherry pick in my role. I can be outside when it's nice, and on the days that it's cold and rainy, I can find things to do in the office.
Mm-hmm. So as far as your education goes, what was your degree in?
I actually never finished college. Which I would always recommend to anybody going in is to finish school. I took a little bit different road where I started school and I worked while I was in college. And then once I got into the field that I was in, I basically, it was more of an on-site or on-job training more than anything. And for me, and again, this isn't always the case. I would never tell somebody to drop out of college. However, for me, I just I became I got better and better roles at the companies that I worked at, and came obviously more money, more responsibility, and things like that. And I just got to the point with school that it wasn't advantageous for me to finish.
Yeah.
So again, I would never tell someone to try to go that route. I think I got really lucky in this industry to be where I'm at. I mean, I obviously worked really hard to get where I'm at,
Yeah.
but it wasn't, that's not going to be the case for everybody, where they can not go to school and get to the position that I'm in.
Right. But you are such a good example of what happens when you work hard. You take advantage of the opportunities that they're given to you, because, it's not necessarily a case where you have to go to college to work your way up. I mean, in reality, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but your position that you're in, you've probably gotten basically the equivalent of an MBA in working up to you where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, 23 years of on-site training, and I think, my advice for anybody going in or looking for it, you can learn a lot by studying a set of plans, which you can't see my desk, but I've got sets of plans all around me. And what I used to do when I was younger is I just absorbed everything that I could get. I paid attention to what the guys that I worked for were saying, how they acted. If they had a set of plans, I see so many kids and people that work for me now, instead of paying attention and watching what somebody older and in a higher position is doing, they're looking down, playing on their phones. And thank God I didn't have a phone back then to have that distraction. Maybe I would be somewhere different right now. But I guess for me, I just, if there's a set of plans, I'm going to study that set of plans. I'm going to watch as whatever the project is being built and just try to tie those pieces together. You know what I mean? Where there's a line on a set of plans. What does that represent in the real world? And I guess my brain kind of functions that way. I'm pretty good with that. That's one of my strong suits.
Yeah. So as far as just prepping for a career, whether it's in operations management, construction, anything like that, how would someone go about doing that? Just even in high school, as far as just prepping classes, anything like that?
I use a lot of math. I think, and that's always been one of my favorite subjects. I did a lot of architectural drafting and CAD work. Actually, and I don't know how, I'm sure it's way more advanced than it was 20 some years ago when I was in high school, but I took every drafting class and every CAD class that I could. My first job at an engineering company was surveying as well as I did AutoCAD work. And I basically was, I got that position from my CAD skills, and that was just from classes in high school. So again, I was young, I was in college and all that. But just the few classes I took in high school, it gave me the ability to get a job at 19 years old at an engineering company.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of internships. I stress, if I can find a 19 or 20-year-old kid who's willing to learn, and giving them an opportunity to come in and again, you got to teach people, but if they've got the willingness to learn, you could definitely make that work.
Is that even like not necessarily a college student, just a 19 or 20-year-old in general?
Yeah, I mean, I actually just hired a guy yesterday. He's 23, maybe 24, but he has a little bit of experience. He has no college degree, none of that. But I would say salary wise, he's going to do pretty well for himself just from the little bit of skills that he had prior to getting hired in. But I saw an eagerness to learn, and I'm going to take a chance on him, and I have no doubt it'll work out.
Yeah. Yeah. So last one here, I'm going to get you out of here. Just think back. I know you said earlier about 20 some years ago. I don't think you look a day over 24. So I don't know if I believe that or not, but just general advice for high school students, anything you can kind of think of.
Well, I actually have a daughter that just graduated high school. She's a freshman now in college, but like I told her, you know, at 19, 18 years old, when you're graduating high school, you know, so many people put a lot of pressure on you to decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told her, I'm in my early 40s and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do the rest of my life. So I feel, you know, looking back as a high school student, I had no idea. I mean, I thought I had an idea,
Right.
but what I didn't get exposed to were all the different opportunities that the world has in front of them. And, you know, pick a degree that's maybe not so specialized that you can do multiple things with it. You know, there's some degree programs just don't give you that flexibility.
Right.
Engineering's a great example. You could go into civil engineering and you can work for an engineering firm. You can work for a contractor. You can work for the city. You can work for a pipe manufacturer or some other type of manufacturer as a salesman. There's so many different possibilities there. Again, when I was 18, no one explained that to me. But what we do, you know, from the trade school program, I would love to see high schools do more training on, you know, heavy equipment and electrical and plumbing and all those things, because that's kind of a dying breed. But anybody that doesn't feel like college is the right thing, find you a trade and you can make a really good living doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like you said, it's struggling right now and it's always going to be in need. You'll never be without a job or without the opportunities for jobs if you do that.
Yes, that is true.
Once again, Josh Dillon, Operations Manager at Harding Group. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.